Hello everyone, welcome back to round 13 of the Pokemon Trading Card Game Malmö Regional Championships 2018. I'm Nicholas Pierce, and I'm joined for this round by the once again lovely Lydia Holmberg.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
So, for this round we actually have, not only do we have two French players facing off against each other, but a French table judge as well.
Yeah.
So we have a French party going on over here. We have Heddi Brahmi against, Lucas Enrique D'Araujo?
Lucas Enrique de Aroa Pereira.
Yeah. It's actually
a very easy name.
Yeah, it's a very Portuguese name actually. It's no surnames and stuff, or Spanish, I'm not sure. But either way, so both of these players are going to be playing Zoroark Golisopod, which is a deck we've seen a couple of times before, already mentioned. Actually, it's had a success at previous events and kind of had a little bit of a resurgence here. It's we've seen quite a few good players are starting to pilot it. It's thinking it's a really strong option, and now we're going to see a mirror match of it, so it should be quite interesting.
Yeah. Looks like both players are ready to start the match, and we are just waiting for the judge to start the round.
Yeah, and we've signaled them, so now they will be the handshake, and we are off, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are, game one. It looks like Heddi will be going first.
By the way, Heddi managed to be in the first seed after Swiss rounds, and is in a quite good position. Well, started in a quite good position for day two. And I think he needs one more win, and then he managed to get into top 8.
Yeah. If he wins this round, then he could ID the next round, and then he would get the 30 points guaranteed. 29 is going to be the bubble line for this tournament in terms of points. It looks like. Wait, did Heddi just draw pass? I saw him draw a card, but maybe that was off a mulligan or something. But I'm not sure.
I haven't seen his hand so far, so I'm not so sure either.
It might be that Heddi's hand is so. I mean, she can get a look at it now. I see a Zoroark in there, but I mean, there's no Zoras in place, so that's not going to be much good.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Yeah, either I just completely misread that draw, and Heddi was just drawing a mulligan, or he went first and drew past. I'm really not sure.
Nevertheless, we see a Bridget play from.
Oh, it's
We see a Bridget play from Lucas, and looking through his deck for Zoroark and a Wimport.
And I am. Looks like that's gonna be just a. He scooped straight
wow.
away. My goodness.
Looks like you read his game correctly.
Did he prize all 4 Zoroarks? What's going on?
Wow.
Well, I don't think that one needs that much more explanation, to be honest, all things considered. Oh my goodness, that's well, that happened.
Wow, insane.
Yeah. So here we go. Yeah, we're going into a very quick game 2 then, as Heddi scoops game 1 straight away. Right, so you're going to game 2 then. Kind of interesting to see what sort of happens now. And there's going to be. I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest, given how quickly that game 1 just ended. Not really sure what else to even say about this. We didn't really get to see much of anything.
Yeah, but well. This is a typical situation where you just have to scoop, you see it does not go anywhere, and you think you better save the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not going to be enough times for game 2 and game 3 in this case, I think.
This game is probably not going to end in a tie.
No, exactly. So, it's funny, because normally in this situation you say something like, oh yeah, what does the player need to do differently to maybe adapt for game 2, and in this case it's just, don't do that again, basically. You saw Heddi's reaction, right? That was just he just thought, not that he was wondering himself, like, why me? Why did I just deserve this? No.
But sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it does.
And we just talked about Eddie and Lucas being both in a very good position, and
it's maybe if Heddi had more starts like that throughout the rest of the day 2, maybe that's why he's slipped down from first seed.
But anything can happen in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It usually does.
Yes. Yes, it is.
See another handshake.
And let's see if maybe. Oh, Heddi has a has a Bridget this time, so already a lot better. And he's gonna be happy to see that. Play it straight away. There we go.
Yeah, you can see him laughing. He seems to be very happy. Going for a 1 Wimpod and 1 Zoroark and
another one. So he wants to get one Wimpod out. He wants to have access to at least one Golisopod as an alternative attacker. But obviously, Zoroark is going to be the thing that wins you the most games by drawing lots of cards. So they want to sort of prioritize the ratio in favor of the Zoroarks.
Definitely. Oh, you can see him shaking his head again, going through his deck.
Does he have lots of stuff prize, maybe?
1 Zoroark.
He's got access to at least 2 Zoroarks, so...
Yeah.
Maybe he's just prized 2 again. We saw last game he prized... It was hard to tell because he kind of like mushed all his cards together, but I think he was trying to say that he had 3, or at least 2 Zoroark prized.
Yeah, you can... well, some key cards must be missing.
Yeah.
Because he's shaking his head.
Yeah.
Parallelity.
You don't want to be giving away. Like, I'm surprised that Heddi's been that willing to give away that stuff in his body language, though.
I think both of these players are good friends. That's why they are playing maybe more in a friendly way.
Oh, okay. I see what's happening now. His hand outside of the Bridget has got completely nothing going for him. So he's actually just played a 1 puzzle of time, and I think that reaction kind of tells you that his next 3 cards are also not much of anything.
Yeah, not really what he wanted to see here.
Oh dear.
Wow.
So Heddi knows he has 1 double colourless he's drawing. He can maybe do a ram. I guess that is like that's.
Wow, but this ram is not going to get him far.
No.
Oh, you can see how he sits there, kind of praying.
Yeah, But he's praying, but he knows he's gonna have to wait at least 4 turns to see something good. So he literally just like threw the cards back on top of the deck without much care. So now Lucas knows he can take pretty much all the time in the world to just not to just not play the end, not play. I mean, just wait until he draws the supporter, which is going to give him something extra.
And a Bridget, of course.
Yeah, of course, getting 3 Zoroarks. Exactly what he wants to see. And now, good.
Lucas is in a pretty good position now.
Assuming
he already gave away that he has nothing really to work with, so Lucas can lean back, make a setup. No need to play aggressive.
No, exactly, and he can just retreat into Tapu Lele and pass.
Yeah, using Wimpod's ability as it is his first turn.
Yeah. Oh, that was an N. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so that's fine then.
Well.
Ish. Maybe he was just feeling a bit sad that he had to use 1 puzzle at a time to do that, but I mean, if he gets back into the game sooner, then... Maybe
that was also kind of a poker face strategy, not giving away that there was actually something.
Yeah, potentially as well. Do reverse psychology sort of thing.
And we see him drawing cards from the end. Actually, not too bad. Oh, there's a Zoroark.
So he's got 1 at least. And it looks like it's going to be a trade discarding Max Potion, it looks like. Although that might be a good resource later on.
I see Max Potion, Enhanced Hammer, and Acerola in his hand. There's no cards you really want to trade away. Yeah, he goes for the Ultra Ball.
And, he does
DCE!
It's actually a really good draw, so he's going to be able to put in a little bit of initial hurt onto this Tapu Lele GX, so he'll be able to hit it for Ride Speeding for 80 damage. It's not too bad. And yeah, that's what he's going to do, so Ride Speeding for 80. And now back onto Lucas, who is going to find himself an Ultra Ball off of that, and actually looks like 2 Tapu Lele's in his hand.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. So one of those will be discarded, I imagine, along with a... Oh no, he had a Bridget in hand, so yeah, of course he's going to discard that first.
Of course. That's no card you need.
No, especially not. The Bridget has already done its job. And Lucas is going to find himself a Zoroark, but actually he's going to take a quick look first to see if there's anything else he'd rather grab instead. Maybe he's thinking he wants to go for Golisopod, but I think Zoroark is probably what you want to prioritise because, again, drawing more cards, seeing more options is going to win you the most games over the course of the series. And Oh, he's really not sure about it.
With building up the Zoroark, you also have the option to build up Golisopod. And with this Golisopod, at the current moment, you can't really work. But still, he decides to go for Golisopod.
Yeah,
maybe having a Floatstone in hand, so he could go for the first impression.
I think he has a Guzma, so that's kind of some sort of thing. And it might be that he's just afraid of missing the attack. He might be just thinking to himself, well I don't know, say, no, he has Guzma behind. We know he has attack with Lele, so he could get a Guzma if he wants it. Oh, but he has to Guzma straight away. So, yeah, I think in that situation he's thinking to himself, I'd rather just not miss the tempo of the attack. And he has the max potion too. So, actually, a really strong turn from Lucas as he just gets the first KO, removing one of Heddi's Zoras.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty hard because you can see Eddie kind of struggling getting resources, but still. Cynthia.
So he would like to find Golisopod off of this because he knows he has access to those at least. He knows that finding Zora would be quite unlikely because it seems like he has one or two prized. But Golisopod would be able to hit back on Lucas's Golisopod, doing a first impression for 120.
And that would be huge.
Yeah, it would. So there it is, and Eddie's gonna do like a quick cut.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in Eddie's hand.
He has trade. Access.
He trades away the Mew, which he does not need in this kind of matchup.
No, definitely not. And it looks like a second wind clock's about to go down as well. No Golisopod or Zoroark for Heddi, so instead going to be content with again Ride Speed up to 80, and now he's going to be back on Lucas.
So let's see what Lucas is going to do with this situation. We see an enhanced hammer.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do with the situation. It's a very strong card.
Yeah, definitely, especially because we know that Eddie has no energies in hand.
Yeah, so if Lucas can find a way to retreat a bench Pokemon, he might dig for a Guzma or for this Tapu Lele here, but the fact that he's going for a Sycamore tells me he probably doesn't have something to retreat the thing that... Oh, or even a Cynthia. Yeah, that works too. Maybe he could be even considering a Crossing Cut GX. I mean, ideally you want to save that to KO Tapu Lele with a Choice Band, but sometimes it's correct to just do it for 150 to go for that 2-hit knockout and then just preserve the Golisopod by retreating it to the bench with the effect of the Crossing Cut attack.
Yeah, but the two play very similar decks, and we know that Eddie plays Max Potion, so dealing a lot of damage onto a Pokemon that has no energies attached to it, especially that early in the game when you have access to a lot of resources, is always quite dangerous.
Yeah, that's very true as well. And that's probably why Lucas is deciding to... actually, also put Grass Energy onto the Zora, interestingly enough. And now it seems that, actually, this is something important to mention as well. Both these play Counter Catcher, one of the cards that came out in Crimson Invasion, but didn't see a huge amount of use apart from a couple of decks. But this is essentially like Pokemon Catcher used to be before the errata, where you can just play it straight away and use it to bring up an opponent's Pokemon on their bench to be active. But you have to be behind on prize cards. You have to be losing the game in order to use it. It's a very interesting card, actually.
It is.
So, actually thinking about it, because, well, he wouldn't be able to use it right now because obviously Lucas took the first KO, so, actually looks like Lucas will just have to be content with doing 30 with first impression onto the active Zoroark. That's not that great. And so, now actually it's going to be very easy for Heddi to pick up the return KO. In fact, all he needs now is a Choice Band. That's because he's doing 120 right now, so he's only 10 damage short. A Choice Band would do the trick.
Yeah, but are we going to see the Choice Band? He's digging for it.
Yeah, there's a Sycamore. He draws 7. He could find another Zoroark to dig further as well. And then we do see an Ultra Ball, so...
Both players are playing 2 Choice Bands in their list. So, yeah, the odds are still there.
Yeah, and there's the Ultra Ball in this card. It's to be a Field Blower and a Corolla. Yeah, he does have one Zoroark left at least, so maybe it's just that he has 2 prized. That could be why he is shaking his head a bit earlier. And so
maybe also he realized his counter catcher is priced.
Maybe, although you don't want to counter catcher here because you want to just dig for the KO on the Golisopod if you can. There's another trade, and looks like he's got Golisopod actually, so that's still... Oh no, that's still not going to be enough, so Ooh, he's going to have to be content with being 10 damage short, and now Lucas could be one that is a roller away from making Heddi feel very, very sad.
But it looks like he has no Zoroark. He just drew a Puzzle of Time.
Ooh. And he has a Tapu Lele in his hand, but of course there's no bench slot for it, so...
Oh, he plays the Puzzle of Time, only one.
And he sees an N and 2 double colorless, it looks like. So something cool he could still do is if he hits a choice band, is he could go crossing cut and with the DCE and knock out the Zoroark. That could be an alternative play he goes for, but he would need to...
But he still needs the DCE. So and he has no trade available.
Oh, of course he doesn't, you're right, sorry, because he went for the Golisopod instead, so actually it looks like he's gonna be content-ish with doing first impression instead.
I think he played Guzma and then retreated.
Yeah, he did. So that's exactly what happened. Yeah, that's why he attached the grass to the Zoroark, so he had that option for next turn. So Heddi's got to do a bit of thinking here.
Yeah, Heddi's now needs to decide what Pokemon to promote. He decides to go with the Zoroark that already has a double colorless energy attached to it, and he's playing an N.
So,
knowing that Lucas just put some good cards on top of his deck, and now he's destroying the effect of Puzzle of Time.
Yeah, well, he's assuming so. We know that it was an N and 2 DCs, but Heddi could have assumed that was something that would turn the game outright. So now Heddi, he has a third Zoroark in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't get why the head shaking at the beginning must have been just a bluff. Then it's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, he bluffed us as well. He did it pretty good.
Yeah. He's got another Golisopod too, another grass energy. So he's got several attackers ready to go at this point. And I can just do right beating and take his first 2 prizes of the game.
Wow, and now Lucas sits there with almost nothing.
Yeah, he did just get a Zoroark at 2 even off of that. Oh,
a third!
3! Oh.
Wow.
Heddi is not happy about that.
And that's the thing about these Zoroark decks.
So
they come out of nothing, and they let you draw so many cards, and you can build up so easily.
That was as I said, Heddi just ends Lucas into 2 Zoroarks and then draws a third off of the draw for turn. Off the draw for turn, sorry. So I'm not dying, don't worry, I promise. And then so now Lucas plays a Sycamore as well, gets a Wimpod off that, so he's gonna bench that straight away, and gonna use trade on another one he drew. Finds an Istarola now, a little bit late. Gonna do a second trade discarding a Breakthrough Zoroark, and then he's got access to one more. Probably gonna be discarding a Ultra Ball. Yeah. Did you not find a double colorless energy off any of those? You found an enhanced hammer, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I see a double colorless though.
That means there are already 2 double colorless energies in Eddie's discard pile, and he already played 1 Puzzle of Time at the very beginning. We still see a Puzzle of Time in his hand. I can't really see if Eddie has 2.
No.
Well, he can dig for them. He has 2 trade abilities available.
Yeah, Lucas kind of... He's playing the Ultra Ball now, but I don't see a double colorless. It's a really, really big miss if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't see an energy at all. Are they even?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there was one.
Okay. There's 1 double colorless and 1 grass.
Yeah. 2?
It's kind of hard to see. Maybe it might have been 2.
He almost showed us the stack for the stream. Very nice of Lucas.
Yeah. Either way, going for the Mew off of that Ultra Ball. And get it. Yeah, that's not great for Lucas.
Definitely not. Now it's Eddie's turn again. Oh, he has a double colorless energy in hand, so he's not in trouble of getting them.
Still shaking his head as if he's disappointed though. Maybe that's just like a constant state of being for Heddi. Maybe he's just just disappointed at everything.
Maybe that's just his concentration phase, and we misread it.
Yeah. I think that wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. I remember when I was on the World stream last year, someone in the chat was saying it looked like I was constantly eating one of those sour sweets. And I looked back and I thought, yeah, I actually do. I guess that's what my concentration base is.
Well.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny anyway.
Yeah, really.
And Jesper apparently agrees. So there's a Guzma, and actually this is really big because he's got the double colours in the choice band, so you can now go for attack with Lele GX knockouts with the crossing cut GX.
And that's exactly what you mentioned earlier. That's how you want to spend your GX attack.
Yeah, you want to just get an easy 2 prizes off of that. And there's the crossing cut, so you might want to flip your GX marker there, Heddi. Okay, I'm not going to read the contents of that message we just received, but anyway, it's yes, but you just assume the worst.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, back to the game. So that was that was a very quick turn. It looks like. Oh no, he's still debating the switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 2 prizes from Heddi, and
he switched into the second Golisopod on his band.
And Lucas debating what to bring up and was deciding to bring up the Zoroark. Draws a card, return, still no energy. There's an end though. So
it's interesting to see him not using his trade abilities first.
It is, but at the same time I think that actually makes sense because he's ending himself to a lower number, so he wants to get to that first, see what he sees, and then trade after that to just try
You know that there are not that many double colorless energies left in his deck, and the bigger that his deck is, the lower are the chances of him actually drawing into them.
Well, that's true as well, I guess.
But never mind.
Never punished, right? There's a double color, so he will be able to do 100 damage to this Golisopod. Might be too little too late though. Heddi has a 2 prize lead, and there's no damage on either side of the field, so at this point it's probably going to come down to a war of Acerolas. Is Lucas able to just stop Heddi's 2 shots from meaning anything? He knows that 1-hit KO is no longer a possibility because the GX attack is already spent. It's not going to be a crossing cut from Heddi's side. That is an option that Lucas still has though. So if he's able to dig for 1-2 shots, with maybe with a first impression combined with a Zoroark, and then finish things out with a crossing cut, that could be one of the ways Lucas sees winning this game.
Yeah, definitely. But let's see what his cards are doing.
So there is the damage going in from Heddi's side, from Lucas' side rather. Yeah, it's going to be a right to be synced 100, and there's going to be now there's the counter catch I mentioned earlier. You can play it, but he's decided to trade it away instead. And Heddi still hasn't touched his GX counter. We're just gonna hopefully get that fixed just now.
We just told the judge.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Thanks a lot, judges.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you indeed. He's going to take 1 plus all the time again.
Wow.
Yeah, rearranging the top 3 cards of his deck. It looks like
we see another counter catcher.
An Acerola and a Bridget. Interesting.
Yeah, I think counter catcher is just the card Heddi assumes he may not need in this matchup because he's already ahead in prices.
Yeah, and there is the trade. It's like he's decided to draw the Bridget and the Acerola. So yeah, obviously the counter catcher will be useful to him. And there's the Acerola. So this is where the Acerola war kind of begins. So Heddi's managed to hit his just now. It looks like Lucas already has a ready in hand to go. So he's going to slam that down straight away as soon as Heddi attacks him. And it's just going to come down to who misses this first.
Yeah, that's always the big question in this Golisopod mirror matches.
And in fact, it looks like he was debating. I was actually wondering which Golisopod to bring up. Decides to bring up the one with the double colours in the choice band.
Interesting, actually.
Maybe he's thinking about armor press.
Yeah, with this Golisopod he has more options, but it's also a little bit more dangerous.
Also, the amount of damage on the Zoroark tells us he did go for the first impression, so he was doing the full 150. So we're going to see an Acerola off Lucas, there's no question about that. But it'll be interesting to see.
We see one trade. I saw him drawing a double colorless energy, but I haven't seen an Acerola so far.
Oh, he's got see that purple card in his hand. That's the full art. He's got one. He's got one already. So I think what he really wants to see off this is a Golisopod. He wants to try and set up that Golisopod, you put an energy on it, so which he isn't going to do, but he wants to give himself the chance to attack the first impression so that the next turn he can do the crossing cut GX KO on a Tapu Lele to close out the game. But there's a
double puzzle.
Double puzzle.
What is he going to get with this double puzzle? Counter catcher.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
Now, Heddi needs to be careful. Lucas needs to be careful here because both his Golisopods are currently in the discard pile. If he doesn't get one back, and
he's getting one back.
Yeah, he knows he has to, surely.
But still eyeing up a bit with this enhanced hammer.
Well, enhanced hammer doesn't do too much for him because it's just going to be getting rid of the double colors and the Golisopod, and which then it's the only purpose that it's serving right now is to do armor press, which isn't that impactful. So you've got to go for the Golisopod here because you need to give yourself the option for crossing cut. And
he goes for max potion.
Fascinating. Intriguing. Confounding. Lucas is obviously thinking of something here. Maybe he wants to try and play a different supporter this turn that isn't Acerola, but still at the same time heal the Zoroark. Maybe that's what he's thinking of.
Yeah, that could be. You see counter catcher on the Zoroark.
Okay, and then he's gonna bring up the Zoroark, play the max potion, and play an N. Okay, so it's very, very interesting. So looks like Lucas he's basically given up the option of using a GX attack this game. He's already burned through one puzzle by playing it at once. Like he played a one puzzle to rearrange the cards of his deck. So crossing cut with both his Golisopods gone and all his recovery gone is no longer an option whatsoever. He's just had to accept it that's not happening.
Yeah, I think what he's planning to do is kind of killing Eddie's game with a late game, and Eddie's now only drawing 2 cards, and if he manages to KO this Zoroark, which he is able to, Eddie has only 1 trade ability available, which lowers down his hand quite a lot.
This is kind of an alternative avenue to achieving a similar sort of goal. And actually, equally thinking about it as well, Heddi benched a Wimpod, and Lucas will be fairly sure that Heddi only plays 2 Golisopod, so actually, what he can still do is get a knockout on either the Zoroark or the Tapu Lele, and then knock out the Wimpod for the last prize.
Yep.
So actually, this is a fine line of play as well, because he knows that he has the prizes on the board to pull it off.
Oh, and we see him trading away a Zoroark, so actually KOing the Zoroark was just the right play.
Yeah, it was. There's a Bridget as well, but I don't think there's a Tapu Koko. That's the only Pokemon he can really go for. And I guess now Lucas is going to kind of employ a similar sort of strategy. He's going to try and play more Acerola, stop Heddi from really being able to take any significant knockouts, and just overwhelm Heddi with damage to the point where he can no longer win this game. And very swiftly, looks like we're just going to see an armor press after an enhanced hammer though. That's pretty big.
Wow.
So now Lucas needs to dig for a double colorless.
I don't think Lucas has a lot of double colorless left. I think there are already 3 double colorless energies that hit the discard pile.
Well, there's 2.
1, 2.
Heddi doing us a favor here and just sort of...
2 only.
Okay, so he does still have 2 left, so it's not the end of the world.
But I think one of his double colorless energies is prized.
Oh, this could be interesting for Lucas then.
You remember when he checked his deck earlier? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know. Was that not Heddi who checked? Or no, it was Lucas. You're right. Yeah.
It was Lucas.
So now Lucas is having a look at Heddi's discard pile.
He was counting puzzle of times.
No, he wants to make sure that he knows what Heddi has access to, and now equally he needs to know what he has access to himself. The one thing he definitely does have access to is free trades, so that's one distinct advantage he has over Heddi right now, is that he can draw a lot more cards per turn and is a lot more likely to see his outs. And here comes a Guzma. Ooh, okay. So he's actually just going for this straight away. And maybe... Ooh,
he has a double colorless in his hand.
He does. Interestingly, he also has Oranguru in his hand. So, could it have been in consideration?
Oh, now he's playing a Parallel City, discarding his damaged Zoroark.
Wow, okay. So yeah, this prize denial really, really strong right now. That's making sure that Heddi can, even if he's not using Acerola, he's denying Heddi of prizes in any way possible, which is really, really strong. And he has the Acerola ready in hand for next turn as well. So we're going to see just a right beating here, I guess, for it's going to be for 80. And that's going to mean that if he does right to beat for 80 again next turn, that will be enough for a knockout. Actually no, it won't, because it only has 110 on it right now. So actually, Lucas would need one more bench Pokemon, but he can't put down one more bench Pokemon.
Maybe he could field blower his own Parallel City.
Yeah, he'd have to.
Oh, we see an Acerola.
Yeah, but it's in the top 3 cards of Heddi's deck.
But he still has one trade ability available.
He does.
So he could decide to put double colorless energy and Acerola on top of his deck.
And I guess that's what he decided to do. So the puzzle goes away. What does he trade away? He trades away a Guzma. Those 2. And then there's debating it, maybe
Acerola.
Yeah. I think maybe he was wondering if he could tank one more hit.
Tough Coco. Well, he just promotes it, but as it has no retreat cost, he can always retreat it back.
Yeah.
Just more of a safe play because you still have some more options.
Yeah.
And really decide at the very moment.
And what you can do is just retreat into one of the Golisopods in first impression, which is, I imagine, what we'll probably see. He was actually debating not rebenching the Zora. Ooh, okay. So, no trades for Heddi next turn.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But
maybe he was too afraid of Lucas just KOing the Zora right away. And with Wimpod having some more HP than Zora, he feels just a little bit safer.
Yeah. And also, if you mention Zora and that happens, then that's again free.
Anyway, he's benching it.
I think he accepts he has to take the risk. It does mean that there's now 3 sort of single prizes that Lucas can work towards.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has enough Guzmas / counter catches left to do that. So he's gonna do a trade in an Acerola this turn. There's no doubt about that. But now here comes an
Acerola again.
Doesn't do trade though. Interestingly. Maybe he doesn't want to draw.
Maybe he knows that his deck is pretty low in card count.
Yeah, so possibly. So he doesn't want to. He wants to avoid decking out at any way possible. And down goes Yarnguru now. Yeah, this is going to be very important for him. This actually might be crucial in him winning this game because he can use that to get back Acerolas and get back double colors energies, grass energies, and even
counter catchers.
Or Golisopod. So he can actually use this to set up the win for himself. So hush my mouth. Actually, he does in a very sort of convoluted way does have an out eventually to being able to do a Crossing Cut GX, but it's going to take so long to set up. It's
see the one trade from Heddi.
It's debatable whether it's even worth it. We do indeed see the one trade from Heddi, and he did draw into a counter capture,
which he cannot use.
Nope, exactly. And it's going to be... Oh, actually, Lucas pointing out that first impression actually does less damage because, of course, the other side makes grass Pokemon do 20 less.
Yeah.
So this actually is going to be doing... Yeah, Armor Press he's doing, and that's going to be 110 instead of 130.
But I think it's not a very relevant difference in this match.
In this situation?
We will see.
No, I guess not. Because even Armor Press twice still gets a 2-hit KO. But now, it looks like Lucas is thinking about Guzma. This is so clever because now he can like freely attach an energy, start recovering resources with resource management, and it's going to be very, very hard for Heddi to move that Wimpod out of the way. Heddi's deck is so thin, you would need to play Guzma at this point to thin it out. I'm fairly sure he's out.
Oh, he shows the Guzma!
So it's Guzma plus Field Blower, and he's able to, so that he can do enough damage to take the KO, and that means that we go to 1-1 in this series.
Wow! What a close series.
That was super, super, super close. That was unbelievable play. That's really, really cool to see Heddi clinching that, considering the start he had as well. We were so convinced towards the beginning that Lucas had a huge advantage. Lucas had a huge advantage, but Heddi was able to pull it back.
I really hope that we will be able to have an interview and ask Heddi what he was thinking when reacting so sad.
Yeah, I think we have some idea now, but it'd be good to hear it from the man himself. Okay, it's funny enough now Heddi needs to unflip his GX counter as well because Can't be bothered, I guess. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. So, Guy Champollion, everyone, who's from France. Lovely guy.
Definitely, very nice guy.
So, we have just over 16 minutes left on the clock. It is in theory enough time for a whole game to finish, but as Jesper and I mentioned when we saw the match last time, Ace of Roller Wars are a thing, and they make games go on very, very long time. So, if the game's going to complete fully, it's going to be pretty much to the wire. It's going to be very, very close, no matter which way you put it. And it looks like Heddi's asking Lucas to hurry up. He cuts his own deck, and Heddi draws 7. And now, looks like
starting with Oranguru.
Oh, not great. That's normally a card you either don't want to bench, or if you do bench it, like very late game for recovery. But
Heddi on the other side has a very good start, starting with Tapu Koko.
Best start, I'd argue.
Yeah.
So, that card is so insane to start with because, of course, it has a retreat cost of 0, so you can just promote whatever you want afterwards.
You see the judge reading Oranguru.
Well, what does it do again?
But still, we see Lucas starting with a Bridget, playing down, and the Bridget from his hand. So, yeah, pretty good setup.
Well, so gonna get 2 Zoras of this, probably a Wimpod as well, unless he wants to get more draw going first, in which case he might prioritise the third Zora, but no, it looks like he's actually just looking at the rest of his deck for checking price counts, and the Wimpod looks like the thing he's going to pick, and yeah, there he is. So two Zoras and a Wimpod for Lucas. And so now, do a quick shuffle. It looks like Lucas is going to. He's going to put Choice Band on the Zora and pass, actually. That's it, no energy this time.
Yeah, and we see Heddi starting the game playing a Cynthia.
Oh dear, not this again. No Bridget.
Already shaking his head again. Maybe that's really his normal facial expression.
Yeah, and the force, he threw that Cynthia down on the table. I was like,
Here, take that.
Yeah.
It's a Cynthia.
Yeah.
Turn 1.
And Heddi does need to see a Pokemon off this, otherwise it could be in a spot of bother. I see a Zora and an Ultra Ball. He's still not happy with it though.
This man is never happy.
No. And a Parallel City as well. Actually, that's kind of big because it stops Lucas from being able to use Tapu Lele as an actual supporter, but he has one in his hand anyway, so it doesn't make a difference this time.
First Zoroark, second Zoroark.
Again, insane start from Lucas. Heddi can't be happy about that.
But still, this Oranguru is kind of locked in the active position.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, it's no card you really want to use or can use, and yeah, now it's there. I don't really know. Do you know how many retreat costs this Oranguru has?
I believe it's 2. Oh, there's a Guzma. If Lucas is able to find a double colours here, he can have an insane turn. He doesn't though.
No. Looks like he has not drawn any energy at all.
No, he hasn't. He's sitting on it. He has a full house actually. He has 3 pluses of time and 2 Guzma. So apparently we've been sort of. Oh, should we mention that?
Yeah, we can mention that.
Yeah. So allegedly, Heddi is being compared to a French Nico Alabas.
Because Nico's always never happy.
Yeah, actually, I can see that actually. To be fair. So Heddi obviously played the Ultra Ball now. Howler playing it last turn, and actually going to get himself Tapu Lele for Sycamore, and now he's going to have a quick look for the rest of his deck. I'm sure he has a good idea of what's there. Maybe this time he'll be happy with what's in there. Maybe. Who knows? Actually, yeah, it looks fine for once.
Yeah, and it looks like he grabbed the Sycamore as you already mentioned.
Yeah, and then just scouting.
Oh, discarding Enhanced Hammer and Countercatcher.
Not great. There's resources you really want to save later on in the game to, maybe get some really key turning points of tempo.
But sometimes it's better to have them in a discard pile as you then have them available with your Puzzles of Time.
Yeah, that's true. At least he knows that they have access to them there for now. One trade from Heddi. Oh, another big miss. No double colorless. So instead he's going to put grass onto the Zoroark, and now it looks like he's going to have to pass. So by contrast, again on Lucas' side, you see a double colorless going to go onto the Zoroark, and he must have drawn out for turn then, because he definitely didn't have one before, and now he has all 4 Puzzles of Time in his hand.
Wow! Look at all the possibilities he currently has to get back some cards from his discard pile.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not really good though. You don't want 4 Puzzles of Time in hand at this exact moment in time, because it doesn't really help you too much. Oh, he does have a Field Blower though. That is helpful by contrast. There's a Guzma as well. So it looks like Lucas will be able to take the first KO here, bringing up the Heddi's only Zora, I should add, and knock that out, meaning that again Heddi's limited to only 1 trade next turn.
Yeah, and Heddi isn't really in such a good board position.
Lucas was just about to take 2 prizes. No, only 1. Not evolved yet.
You see his one and only trade ability.
We do, and he's got another Parallel City. Lucas won't be happy about that, and he's got an N as well. Interesting that Heddi did have a Bridget in his hand, but opted not to play it. This was because, of course, he didn't have an energy in his hand to attack, so he really wants to attack.
And
this
an energy
turn.
would be so helpful.
Yeah, it would.
He really needs to start this game going.
There it is. So now is Heddi able to finally find an energy off of this N? Remember, he doesn't have access to trade. He's already used it this turn, and it looks like the answer is no. Not even a grass.
Wow.
Another attackless turn for Heddi. It's really, really unfortunate.
Which I think he's going to play an Ultra Ball now. Probably going for a Wimpod?
Maybe, but I think no. Yeah, he has to.
Zoroark,
he has to prioritize Zora. He needs to just draw more cards.
That's so true.
So now Heddi, he's on Zora, but he's not really doing anything else. So he's probably just going to have to pass. And very kindly showing us this whole discard file.
Thank you, Eddie.
And now. What did they do?
I think he...
Oh, they're just showing something, I guess.
Yeah. He has 1 puzzle, maybe he's hoping for the second one, and was kind of trying to play out.
Possibly, although the puzzle wouldn't even have helped him, so there aren't any energy in his discard pile either. That's what he's missing. Meanwhile, Lucas is drawing all the energy in the world. Look at that. He's got 1 on the active, 1 on the bench, and a Guzma as well.
Oh, for that Zoroark.
Lucas is running away with this game right now, not relenting at all, as Heddi now has 2 Zoras taken down, and benches a Wimpod and plays an N.
Yeah, Heddi's always trying to kind of get into that game, benching some basic Pokemon, but Lucas is right away taking every chance of Eddie right away.
It's not great.
Definitely not.
So now, after the N, Lucas will be getting 4 off this. Heddi only 6. We finally see some double colorless. Bit late, but better late than never, I guess. And even then it's not amazing, because you don't want to really attach a grass and a double colorless to a Zoroark, but I don't really think he has much of a choice right now.
Yeah, that's what we are seeing.
So that does Rise Beating, going to be 100 damage there, and 80 damage even, because you need to remember the it's Golisopod. Sorry, ignore me.
It's no grass Pokemon.
I saw the grass energy and for a moment I got confused, but it is 100 damage to Rise Beating. Another trade from Lucas. Finding.
It's a dark fox, I learned recently.
Yes, there was a debate about this, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a big debate about whether it's rather a fox or a wolf. There are those emojis and yeah.
Yeah, because we were trying to find emoji representation for some of these decks, and like some people are arguing like the species of the emojis should be more like fixation, whereas some are arguing that the color is more important, but like the colors and the animal mismatch what they actually were. So.
Yeah, I was arguing with Philip like quite a long time, and we had this argument more often, and then I decided to do the one and only thing to finally solve the issue, and I did a Twitter poll, and apparently I was correct. 2/3 of all the people out there believe that it's more black emoji and it's not that important that it's a fox.
No, there's a whole for us because for what it's worth, I'll probably say that I actually kind of agree with Philip. I'm really sorry. Like, so Philip, if you're if you're watching, you're playing the tournament right now. When you watch this back, you know I've got your back, dude. Sorry, Lydia.
Yeah, I wonder who these 2/3 actually are, because all people I have talked to in person just told me no, it's definitely more important that it's a fox. Yeah. But never mind. Let's go back into the game.
It's the internet, so yeah. First impression from Lucas's side, was able to get the sort of the bench into the active as well, so he's able to get the extra damage of first impression, doing 120. Heddi gets a Golisopod of his own in response, and he does have the Acerola ready, so he could just take a very simple turn of Acerolaing the Zoroark, and actually this works out really nicely for him, because that gives him the grass energy he needs to attack as well.
Yeah.
It's actually a really cool play. And yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Maybe. Oh no, he Guzma's. Oh no, he trades first. Discarding Guzma. Maybe just to see if he can get a grass energy.
And we see an enhanced hammer.
Big draw. And he's agonizing over this more than I thought he would.
Still deciding to play it.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, the Acerola puts the Zoroark back to the hand.
Yeah, maybe he was afraid of Lucas then KOing the Zoroark straight away, as he already did a few times.
Yeah, quite possibly. So then, like with the Golisopod now in the active, he's going to be able to do 120, and that's pretty much what he does. He was debating whether he wanted to bet something else first, but the answer was no. And now Lucas needs to. Oh, he's got another Zoroark down. That's really great. It's really great for him. And this is the opportunity that Lucas has to really keep up the increased tempo he has over Heddi. We have to remember that Heddi has no Zoroarks in play right now because he didn't rebench the Zoroark that he picked up off the Acerola. So there's going to be no trade access for Heddi next turn. But Lucas still needs to take 4 prizes in 4 minutes plus 3 turns, which might be the tricky bit for him.
Yeah, but we also see Heddi. He has not taken a single prize yet. Still, he's in a good position to KO this Golisopod next turn.
Yeah, maybe.
If he's not getting KO'd. But that's quite unlucky.
Is Lucas potentially debating choice ban Guzma or Lele play? I don't think that's possible because he can't retreat into. There's nothing he can retreat for that's relevant.
Yeah.
So maybe he actually. Oh, he has a choice ban too.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do the crossing cut just yet. He just decides to do armor press for 100, which potentially could be relevant. As if Heddi has a double colorless but no choice band, armor press would do 100 back minus 20, 80, and would actually miss the knockout. So instead, yeah, just gonna be do the Acerola, and that's really strong for him because now he can just rebench the Wimpod, evolve the other Wimpod into a Golisopod, attach, do first impression, and that is 120 minus the 20 from the armor press 100, which still is enough to KO the Golisopod.
Yeah, and we see it's Eddie's turn again.
Yep. So now, Heddi's turn again. Actually. What's going on here? What's he doing?
Oh, I think that was another armor press.
What?
No, crossing cross, sorry.
No, that can't be right. Hold on.
Yeah, they are discussing.
What's happening? It should have been 120 minus 20, 100.
Why minus 20?
Because he did armor press.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? There's no parallel city in play. It had 100 damage on it, and then first impression. Oh no, of course it still wouldn't have been enough. What am I talking about? I can't do maths. I'm sorry. 100 plus 100 is 200. That's still not enough. Wait, no, it is. Oh no, it had 100. No, it had 120 on it. That's why.
Yeah, it had 120 on it.
And now it's doing 100 minus 20. Wait, what? No, what's happening? It's like.
You need a pen and a calculator, Nick.
No, he did first impression, right?
Yes.
And there's no parallel city in play.
Yes.
So if you're doing 120 minus 20, 100. And 100 plus 120 is enough for the KO. So, right. Hold on, maybe get the. Yes.
Yes.
There we go. Finally.
They managed to solve the issue on their own.
See, this is what happens because I have the right thing in my mind, and then they have some kind of debate. I get confused. I question myself, and then oh dear, what a mess.
We are all only human.
Yeah.
And you also see Heddi oh.
So Heddi must have himself missed that he had the KO, and was he was also being nice. He was saying, "What? No, it's okay. I'm not winning. I want to win this game. You know, no, I didn't do enough damage to do a KO. Yes, you did, Heddi. Take the knockout. For goodness sake."
Oh.
Okay.
Crazy.
Really. Breathe.
Okay,
relax.
we see an end.
Yeah, there we go. Back into the action. Oh. If that wasn't a massive beetle, I don't know what is. There's so from Lucas's side now, he's like you just said, he's played the end. His Writer's Beating is currently doing 130 with the choice band because he has 4 bench Pokemon out. Going to do a trade, discarding to draw 2. Oh, he's got a Wimpod, so he's got an extra Pokemon he can put down if he wants to do 150. Whether that's relevant or not is probably not the case.
Oh, it looks like we are already in timeout.
Oh, we are. Okay. Oh, so actually, I don't really see a way for either player to win in that case.
No, not really. It's the first extra turn. They have a dice for us.
They're even on prizes. We've got 4 apiece. Don't see either one of them taking two prize knockouts. Well, Lucas definitely can't do it because he only has 1 turn of time left. But there's no way Heddi can knock out a GX and knock out another GX this turn.
I think he's checking his options and.
He's gonna play the end.
I wonder what he is thinking.
Yeah, me too. I've got a max potion. That pretty much steals the tie, even if it was already sealed, but that just seals it further, surely.
Yeah, maybe it's not the first extra turn, it's just Eddie ending his turn, and then it's the first extra turn, then it makes sense to play safe.
Possibly, but I'm fairly sure that's there's a little die there, which I'm fairly sure is on 1. I'm fairly sure that means it's the first turn of time.
Probably.
We'll let them play it out, and obviously we'll see what happens after that. That'll be more telling than anything else.
That's so true.
Yeah. Now Heddi just passes. Yeah. Now it goes to turn 2 at a time.
Turn.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. This game is definitely going to end in a tie.
I think both these players know it as well.
And we really have kind of a curse with these long stream matches, but I mean that's good for you guys out there having a lot of Pokemon action.
yeah, it is, but at the same time it's a shame when a match sort of ends. A tie is always a little bit of an anticlimax, so kind of unfortunate from that perspective, I guess. And then Ultra Ball, discarding a choice band and another Ultra Ball. So now we have it looks like it could be a Guzma on a Zoroark. It's interesting. And then looks to be Taco Verde, Floatstone retreats back into the Zoroark, and then KO. So now it's back to Heddi's turn. What does he have? This is the last turn of time.
And he did, that's a tie.
Yeah, that is. So yeah, Heddi can't do anything, and that's it's like that is how that game's going to end. Yeah, again, a bit of an anticlimax, but you know these things happen in Pokemon sometimes. So actually, again, because that game went into time, obviously don't have time for an interview, sadly. But I mean, great game, right? It was.
Yeah, and we already saw that kind of the signs that because the second game took quite long, and sometimes it's with those mirror matches, especially when you play decks like Golisopod, where you can only take 2-hit KOs, and you can heal a lot, and
it's just the way it happened. That sometimes like that, unfortunately. So, guys, we're about to go to a break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with round 14, the final round of Swiss, very, very soon.
And we will show a winner in, of course.
Of course.